Okay. Hi, Lieutenant Jackson. This video is made specifically for you. However, I am putting it up on YouTube. My hope is that I won't have to make any more videos so we get this resolved. But my intent behind doing this is just kind of, uh, make the whole process more transparent because I'm kind of not getting the greatest feeling about what's going on here. Uh, this is all with regard to Officer Wassmer, who pulled me over for an allegedly inoperable license plate light. Um, and when I got home, the light was working. Um, I did a Freedom of Information Act public information request to get the video, but the video was inconclusive as to whether the light was working or not because Wassmer, what he did when he pulled up, you know, on me that night, he uh, he didn't use his red and blue lights. He came hauling, just tearing, probably around 100 miles an hour with his spotlights blaring and his bright lights blaring, literally to the point where it blinded me. I mean, I had to slam on my brakes and scoot over a lane. When I slammed on my brakes once before, the copy of the video that I received doesn't have the interaction or the other moves I made just before the video started. Uh, but you can still tell from this remaining video that this is not safe behavior. You don't you don't come hauling up on somebody with your bright lights and two spotlights, just lighting up the guy. First of all, I mean it's in violation of the applicable codes, and second of all, I mean it's dangerous. He's following me at an interval of less than a second. Okay, and this is at 60 miles an hour. Uh, that could turn deadly very easily if you blinded somebody like that. I mean, it's just common sense. You don't do that. It's very concerning the lack of concern your department is placing upon this because this is serious. I mean, I lost my wife in 2013, and I know your department lost an officer and his child a few years ago to a traffic accident. So I mean, you guys understand that this is real stuff here. We're not just talking about make believe. This is a very dangerous, very real situation, and I believe it needs to be addressed. You know, if nothing, I mean, especially when you throw on top of it the I mean, he just doesn't do anything by the book. He's just like a vigilante, just out to get people. And look at this here. I mean, look at this. He's got 437 uh, citations issued this year. Now, I've got another request in to see if those citations each have multiple violations on them and what his total violation count is. But if they do, I'd be willing to bet that they are way up there as well. You got this other guy, Luke Rose. I mean, it looks like they're in some kind of competition or something, 432 and 437. When you got the next highest person sitting, let's see, there's a 156, 160, there's somebody at 225, I think. Yeah, there they are. But, I mean, you got a lot of people at 90s, you know, this 437, that should tell you something, right? Okay. I mean, that's an anomaly. That is not normal. He is the highest in the department by far. Okay. And what also is not normal is his pretense for the stop. The whole reason he's using these bright lights is to drown out the fact that there is a functioning license plate light on the vehicle. Uh, and we're about to watch here a interaction Wassmer had with somebody else, and this I didn't even discover until after I'd sent a complaint to Chief Collison, which never got a response to. That was on October 5th, and then I sent your first contact with you to on the October 11th. But I think on the day after I emailed the chief, I discovered just on a hunch because I mean I figured this guy's obviously probably done this before. Sure enough, what pops up but a video of him doing the same thing. Now, I will say that the license plate was out on the vehicle he pulled over in this video, but I mean, if you're pulling over enough vehicles, that do have functioning license plate lights, and you're going to want to get some that actually don't, have a functioning light, so you can kind of give yourself some credence if you're operating outside the guidelines of the law. So let's have a look at this interaction here with let's see. There we go.
And he won't let you get out of the car. Now, I did hear him when he came back, or I'm sorry, right before he went back to his truck, he told them, "You just make sure and stay in the vehicle, okay?" And they said, "Okay, yes, sir." But from what I was told, he would pull people over and tell them that he pulled you over because your license plate light is out. He won't let you get out of the car, and when you get home, all of a sudden your license plate light is working.
I mean, what are the odds? You know, uh, this should kind of give you, an inclination that hey, I should really take this seriously. Uh, I don't think you've done that to date.
Whether it was, and then he'll just say, "Oh well, it might have been a short, I don't know, something got bumped and it went out when I pulled you up, but it was out when I pulled you over. It was out when I pulled you over, and you're not allowed to get out of the vehicle and check yourself." Now, if this is true or not, I don't know. This is just hearsay. I don't have video of it, and so take it with a grain of salt. Whatever. You decide what you think, but I'm sure that if he is doing that, at some point we can catch it on video if we're out here all the time. These folks here, though, don't want to. They don't want to talk about what he's doing to them and why. I wonder if Officer Wassmer tries to search the vehicle on every stop that he makes. You think he's one of those cops that tries to get a search every time? Tries to turn every citation into a felony stop? What I think is unfair is that
And you can see there's no, looks like no license plate light on this one. But, I mean, the fact that this guy's out there recording these videos specifically because of multiple complaints on this officer doing this, exactly what he's done to me, really, that's not a coincidence, you know. Um, for it to occur in, you know, multiple places, different departments, years apart, uh, you know, here's your sign. So it's really disappointing when, I registered my complaint on October 11th, and today's what, November 5th, and your investigation isn't done. Not only that, there's, I mean, I call it like it is, man. The fact that you haven't asked me any additional questions other than, what I said in the complaint tells me that there's no investigation. Uh, when you investigate both sides if you're taking something seriously, and you haven't done that. So, I mean, it is what it is on that. And we got the fact Wassmer took the the receipt from the auction. Now, that's an original document. I can't get that replaced, and I need it to transfer title to the vehicle, register the car. Uh, it's been several weeks since I've informed you this. I've asked, who I would go about speaking with, and you still haven't given me a response, man. I mean, you know, this isn't good. This isn't good at all. And what also is not good. Now you're the lieutenant, all right, and you've got uh, what you're the second or third in command of the department. So you run the department. You're responsible. The buck stops with you, and you've got your public information officers pulling off some shady things here. I made a public information request. Okay, of course, I got the original videos that were redacted. Requested those on September 22nd, I believe. It came in around the 4th of October. At one point during the video, one of the videos, here, we'll pull that up here. You can hear Wassmer saying something that piqued my interest a little bit. Okay, so here we got Wassmer. Now, the stop initiated at 2:34, 2:35 a.m. This is 2:51. The entirety of the stop would last 30 minutes, which is a bit excessive. Um, and you can see over here, that's my auction purchase receipt. Now, I mean, he left the scene with it. Okay, he knew it was in there, right? And when you have something important like that, you don't throw that away unless you've got some sort of ill intent. Okay, that's another. These things are starting to add up with Wassmer. There's something not right with him. He's I don't know if it's a little man syndrome or what, but he's not conducting himself in a manner that represents your department very well. And I would think that this would be alarming to you, but to date, it doesn't seem to be of a concern, which is very strange, really strange. But take a listen here.
We just make it. We can go back to like. You motherfucker.
You motherfucker. That's how he feels about me, apparently, from whatever he's reading. Um, that's not very professional, to say the least, and also concerning. I'm very curious to know what he's referring to. Uh, I suspect it may have something to do with a video that garnered some attention on YouTube for a department next door to you guys, but I don't know. I would know if your department was playing by the rules and releasing information that they should. But rather than do that, I submitted a Freedom of Information Act, or I guess in Texas we call it the Public Information Request, on October 5th. Now, your department waited the entire 10 days allotted. Now, if you read the law, it's supposed to be produced as soon as possible without delay, but not later than the 10th day. Okay. Your department, apparently, when it comes to me, perceives things as the 10th day. Now, this is business days, so this takes a lot longer than actual days. Okay. So on the 19th here, I get a request to clarify. And in the request to clarify, what they ask for here is please clarify whether you're still seeking the unredacted videos responsive to your request. That's not a request for clarification. Okay, that does not fall in the scope of a request for clarification. That is literally saying, "Are you sure you want what you requested?" I mean, that's not a clarification, all right? And then to have this part here, if you are still seeking the information, we need you to provide the following information required by Section 1701 661A of the Occupations Code. Now, this information here, the date and all this stuff, was already provided when I received the first copy of the video. And if you read the statute, it says this may be done in order to what's the exact term they use? It's escaped me right now, but basically establish. As I said, you can do that to establish that I'm the person in the video, and I can receive the footage. Okay, so that's an important word, establish, because if you're requesting to establish it again, you don't establish what's already been established, right? You don't do that. So uh, you've got the duality here of major no-nos. Wait until the trifecta. If you go with the wait until the 10th day, and then you've got this request to clarify that is not a request to clarify at all, and also a request to establish what's already been established. Now, why would somebody do that? Because they're an open and transparent government, or because they're trying to keep me from getting the information, that this country we live in is supposed to afford us. You know, it's supposed to be the land of the free. You know, which has the highest population of incarcerated people by far in the world. We're literally the antithesis of the land of the free, the farthest thing from the land of the free, which is extremely concerning. But when you add up the amount of people on adult supervision, it's astounding. It really is. And we, if you guys were to just obey the law and be transparent like this, we probably wouldn't have that problem. So you're part of the problem, sir. You really are, and you got to do something about it. Okay. So, anyways, so they request on the 19th that I clarify, and I got the email immediately and uh, replied with my clarification very same day. Now, something else to note in here is they say, while the city does not need this information to locate the body cam videos you seek, the Attorney General's office requires this information. No, you already have it. All right. And they say the Attorney General's office will not issue a ruling on your request without it. So this says they're already intending to send it to the Attorney General. Why? Well, because you can delay it another 45 business days. Of course, 45 business days is like, 8 years. Maybe not quite that much, but, a substantial amount of time. On top of the additional 10 days they waited here when they knew they were going to send it in, and for no other reason than to cause delay, which is not good faith. They'd have the gall to literally claim this is done. I get right here. Like this is being made in good faith. No, it isn't. Okay, nobody believes that, and it's not. You know, it's not. Uh, this is your department. This is what you're doing to an American citizen who's been pulled over unlawfully by an officer that has a reputation for violating people's rights, pulling them over illegally, who writes an enormous amount of citations, very expensive, that are causing all kinds of people all kinds of problems, and you don't care. You don't care, and you try to conceal it through things like this. You see a problem here? I do. You know. Oh, not to mention, yeah. If he keeps the auction receipt, which I mean, you've got to know that's an important piece of paper. You don't throw that away. You do not lose that. Okay. accidentally. That's intentional. He probably said, "You motherfucker," when he threw it in the trash. All right? Look, man, this is the first video, and I hopefully won't have to do a second one because the second one will be a continuation of this. And uh, if we need to keep going down this road, you've already got a Fourth Amendment violation with the legal seizure. That's plain as day. You can't deny that. All right? It's documented to an nth degree. Um, this has to stop, sir. Not just for me, but this country. I mean, what kind of message are you sending with this and allowing this to continue? I mean, who do you think you are? You know? No, sir. No, no. Uh, you were a Marine, from what I understand, right? You went and fought for this country. Granted, I understand you understand it. You're over there fighting for oil for some rich people, so maybe you lost your faith in what the Constitution stands for and everything. But don't let that jade everybody else's life by perpetuating that mistrust of the government. Okay, because you are now in a position of government where you are in power and making decisions that affect the freedom of others, like this right here. You know, and I mean the totality of this circumstance. Yeah, it should be eye opening for you. Let's look at this too. There is things just aren't adding up here with these lights. This shadow right here is coming from apparently looks like this bar, which is probably from his spotlight over here. But are you guys using some kind of filter on this? I mean, why does it get you know the light pattern? You can just kind of it looks like there's some kind of exact filter. I don't know. Maybe just these new headlights are that precise, but uh, it just looks so funny to me, you know. And we know why isn't just look a little off. And look how he's got. I mean, oh, okay, we're gonna watch him pull up here, okay, and watch him pull back just a little bit to adjust his lights so they're covering the license plate with the maximum amount of light right there. Did you see him? Just kind of back up just a little bit, you know. I mean, and you can hear him. It's done intentionally. It's not a for when you put it in park or anything like that. It's an intentional move. Why would you do that? Do you see how everything's adding up here? Uh, Something needs to be done about this, sir. Because if your intent is to let all this slide, and I'm subjected to this tyrant's vigilante style injustice, uh, I'm not gonna be happy about that, and I'll make a fuss. All right, I'm gonna make a fuss, a big one, because it's not right. And I'd expect you to do the same if you're in my shoes. You would, wouldn't you? I mean, what would you do, right? So don't blame me. This is not my fault. This is this guy's fault right here. All right, there's something not right with that guy, and quite frankly, I have some concerns about you after this experience. I hope this was just a fluke for you and you just got caught up somehow trying to defend an officer, but you shouldn't be defending somebody like this, first of all. So that's inexcusable. You really don't have an excuse, Lieutenant. You're a lieutenant. Okay. This man put my life in danger. Okay. Look at how bright those lights are, man. Look at that. He's got that lit up. Okay. And look at the following distance, and he's got no red and blues on. And he came out of nowhere just hauling 100 miles an hour to get right on me. He's a predator. This man is a predator. All right. He's hiding behind his badge. The little man syndrome coming out through the use of the badge at your department. Okay. Is this what Celina, Texas is? Is this what you think about the citizens that are driving through there? You're going to let your officers do this? Really? I need an answer. I need an investigation. We need to get something done about this, sir. And sooner rather than later. All right? I look forward to hearing from you. Let's get this resolved.